Make sure you don't forget to check out and buy my new book, The Construction Worker, based on the life of my grandfather. Just head over to Amazon, the app or the website, switch over the category search to books, and type in The Construction Worker, and you will find it right there on the website. You can get it on Amazon, actual hard physical copy, or you could buy it on Kindle. So pick up a copy today at Amazon or Kindle. And I hope you guys enjoy. And like always, thank you so much for watching this video.
I want to be sedated with the Game Boy!
Yup, it's been a while, and this is what I'm accustomed to right now. Something happened on the way to the studio. I don't know. Some guy saw a bubblegum truck. It made him excited, big throbbing in the pants. How would it feel inside of a mouthful of bubblegum? One thing led to the other, ended up crashing into a bubblegum truck nearby. Had to bust, blew it all over the car seat, big massive collision on the bridge, and now here I am stuck.
How can you not see a 50-foot trailer? Come on!
Yeah. So, in the meantime, I figured, fuck it, we'll just do an episode of Jetpack Retro right here. But today, I wanted to finally finish off that retrospective. As I mentioned before, I finally figured out the real reason why our dear James blew up last time, and it was because I didn't properly finish off the retrospective. So, today, for Angry Nerd, and to finally get this done, let's step into the final chapter of this AVGN retrospective, which is the top 7 best Angry Video Nerd episodes of all time. Now, like I said in the past for my worst episode, I love James, I love his work, and none of that was a hate thing. But now we can talk about the positive side. So let's step into the top 7 best Angry Video Nerd episodes. Oh yeah, best. I mean, the type that want to make you pull out your fat juice. Now, a few rules before we start this list. There will be no holiday specials on here. None of his Halloween episodes and none of his Christmas episodes will be in this, list. I wanted to, because literally, a lot of his Halloween episodes are some of my favorites of all time. But I figured there's so many of them, and they're a whole different subject. No joke, if an episode is a Halloween special, I will enjoy it 10 times more than I will a regular episode. It's just, the feeling of Halloween just enhances it, and when you have that nostalgia and that joy of Halloween, it makes it 10 times better. So I thought it'd be, a bit not fair for the whole list. So that won't be there, and quick or voice-only episodes won't be here either. I just don't think they count. We're looking for full-on actual Angry Video Nerd episodes with him doing stuff as well as reviewing it. And also any episodes that are, 2 or 3 parters, they will count as just one episode. They're the same thing basically, so might as well condense that into just one. Without further ado, hummus on the schlop, let's get to the pump.
Aw, kick fucking ass! Life is kinda cool sometimes.
Hey, you were expecting maybe the Addams Family?
Was I expecting the Addams Family?
When I was putting this list together, it was almost utterly fucking impossible. I had a much bigger list of favorite episodes, but then I remember, while making it, while rewatching through the episodes, you can only pick 7 though, man. And I had to cut a lot, but I'm happy I stuck with this one as 7. I chose his TMNT 3 review due to the fact of it's just a really put together review. Honestly, it's cozy, it's fun, and it just perfectly mashes from a film's perspective, editing perspective, everything, why this movie didn't work as well as the other two. And it's really well done. I love all of it. The aspects of him just delving into his own history with the Ninja Turtles and what they could have put instead of what they did, villains they should have used, and even down to this cool shot here where he outright shows in editing, his own editing, how to fix that one dumb scene where the guy just glitches into the water instead of falling in. It's so well done, and it's such a competent review. And that's why it gets the number 7 slot. It's not one of the craziest episodes, but it's such a nice, fun, calm, ripping on a movie, but in a well-written way where he actually gives valid points throughout it of why he had problems with it. And I think that's why it's a solid 7. Nice, comfy, and just fun.
Aw, kick fucking ass! Life is kinda cool sometimes.
Any Monster Madness fans here? Well, fuck you, Shmosh Ghoulish Gallery! Anyway, so, this one, if you've watched Monster Madness, this had to do with, as you well know, James' huge love for Godzilla. And trust me, I have friends and family who are also massive obsessive fans of Godzilla, so this actually hit home for me. This goes into a niche that I love a lot. I really enjoy, like, no joke, you'll probably see a lot of them on this list as we go on. I love compilation episodes. My favorite episodes of his of all time are the episodes where it's literally about, covering a collection of games with a topic. Like this episode, for example, we're going to look at all the Godzilla games I could find. But this one is the most interesting out of all of them due to the fact that this one also delves into the history of how hard and complicated it was to be a Godzilla fan in English countries. How hard it was to get a solid Godzilla game, and how we mostly had these weird ones here and there. And I can relate with that. I mean, growing up, I grew up during the era when there was a lot of good ones on PS2 and stuff, but I never went for them. Not interested at that age in Godzilla at all. But I had, one friend who had this one on the Game Boy, and it was addictive. I played it all the time. As the years went on, history would tend to repeat itself, and now, once again, it's more harder than fucking ever to get a Godzilla game today as well. So, sometimes history repeats itself. What are you gonna do? And that's why this episode is so good to me. The niche subject of Godzilla in this episode, covering all the weird as hell Godzilla games that he was allowed to have growing up as a big Godzilla fan, and even that amazing ending of him outright turning into Godzilla and just rupturing the room with his roar. It's a really fun time, and I love this episode. It's literally the one of the episodes I go back to and watch all the time.
Aw, kick fucking ass! Life is kinda cool sometimes. Good! You killed me! Good!
Oh yeah.
Hey, Luigi?
I remember when this episode first came out, it was a huge deal. Even Angry Nerd himself in the first part talks about how this was like an episode he was working hard to put together. And it shows. This episode is like the Godzilla one, where it's only so good because of how fucking weird and niche of a topic it is. A CDI console. When the episode came out, I had no idea what the hell that was. And seeing it and seeing these weird off-brand Nintendo games, because they were actually able, from their work with Nintendo in the past, able to slip away some Nintendo licenses from them for this console. It's so well done. The weird ass shit animation that later became YouTube Poop Gold Media.
My boy, this is what all true warriors strive for.
You know what they say, all toasters toast.
And that weird Hotel Mario game, this just became a goldmine for the YouTube community, and I love YouTube Poop, so it's such a good episode, and it's one of those episodes that James does sometimes, which I love, where he actually beats the game. There is no bullshit, nothing, it's just us actually joining him on this ride of just hanging out and trying to figure out how the hell to beat this weird-ass shit game. Him showing all the weird mechanics, everything about it just meshes perfectly. The only thing I would have hoped for is that the first part with Hotel Mario was much longer, and I would have loved if he went much farther in Hotel Mario the game. But I get it. It's a simple arcade game, so move on to the Zelda stuff. But either way, great episode, and that's why I think it deserves this slot. It's great because of how intriguing it is and how downright weird it is, but not as good as the other ones I've seen.
Aw, kick fucking ass! Life is kinda cool sometimes. The fifth game isn't even a game, it's just a bag of shit that says Lester the Unlikely 5 on it.
okay, so either this one's going to confuse the hell out of you, or it's going to get you hard, or it's going to get you genuinely interested / aroused. Or this entry here will just piss you off. One or the other is fine. But yeah, lesser the unlikely. I was actually shocked myself when putting this list together and rewatching all these episodes. I actually originally had Lesser the Unlikely down as like a solid 7 entry, like, it's just a whatever episode. But as I watched through these episodes, that ended up not being true. I really enjoyed this episode. The more I went through these episodes, the more I enjoyed this one a lot more than the other ones on my list. It's just, there's something about it. One thing I know, I fucking love simplicity. If an episode is entertaining, well done, but very simple, you got me. And I don't know, that's what this is. Once again, like the other entries, it's because of how weird of a game this is. I remember when I saw this episode, I myself went on an emulator, looked for it, found it, and started trying to beat it myself because just the idea of this game, of just a weird, typical nerdy guy who's really useless throughout the game, being a main character for a game was so interesting to me that's what drew me to this episode more. I just love the simplicity of it. I love that it's just, hey, here's a weird-ass shit game I genuinely can't believe exists, and we're just going to try to beat it and see what the hell it even is. And especially that last joke with him showing how worthless each sequel would get if it got sequels always gets me, makes me laugh. This is another one where it's just because it's just a fun, weird, solid time. And that's why I think this deserves the 4th slot. It's not the greatest thing ever made by Angry Bird, but it's such a simple, fun little humble experience that I have a blast with it every time.
Aw, kick fucking ass! Life is kinda cool sometimes.
64 bits, 32 bits, 16 bits, 8 bits, 4 bits, 2 bits, 1 bit!
Oh yeah, we're going back to my taste of compilation episodes. This was one episode during a weird time for Angry Nerd when it was, I think, if I remember correctly, after or during the Angry Nerd movie. And this was around the era people point to when he started to go downhill. But this is the one episode out of that whole era that I think is genuinely solid. I love compilation episodes, and this one, once again, well, this is going to start sounding familiar, is just because the topic is weird, and when a topic is weird or, like, something I never heard of, it becomes 10 times more interesting. And to have a compilation of, we're just going to go through the whole history of these weird-ass shit Tiger Electronic consoles, and the whole background on the company itself and its whole era was just so fun and interesting. I love how weird these game consoles are. And you know what's funny? I had one of these growing up. Years ago, when I was back in Portugal just hanging out with my family, I was like very small at that time. And we went to this one like thrift store there, and they had this little thing that looked like a knockoff PSP. And it just had these games just burn onto it. It was literally just basically like, oh, look, it's, like, no joke, that one thing he plays, the Street Fighter Tiger Electronics, I had basically that on there. And I still played a lot because, well, to me, it was just a fun game. So to see an episode covering the full thing of where that even came from and all that was 10 times interesting to me. And who could forget fucking classics like his 8-bit thing, or the him freaking out over how this was basically nothing, but just due to how goddamn cheap it was, it wouldn't die off. It just kept going. It was like a virus, and we all got fucked. Stuff like that makes it so interesting, and that's why I love it so much. It was originally going to be higher, but then I found 2 gems that I thought were much better than it. But Tiger Electronics is more than deserving of this entry, and I fucking love this episode.
Aw, kick fucking ass! Life is kinda cool sometimes.
It's educational? I don't want to be educated. I want to rot my brain. This is Luigi's first game, and this is what he gets?
Hey, listen. It was either this, or it was Little Red Hood. Which part of nostalgia you want me to pick from? Yeah, this episode is one of those nostalgia ones. Like, when I was watching through them again, I got such a burst of nostalgia Mario was missing. I remember watching that one, like, that was one of the first few episodes. Well, fun fact, the first ever episode I ever saw of Angry Bird when I was a kid, the episode that made me discover him, was the episode Little Red Hood. That was my first time ever seeing him. But then I saw this one right after, and I thought the topic of this was more interesting. I love that it's just him going through the history of that weird time when Mario had a shit ton of educational games left and right. Mario Missing being the most interesting one due to the fact of, I finally get a game with Luigi instead of Mario. I like Luigi more than Mario, so that sells for me. And to show how weird it is and the niche stuff they do, and the fact that it was on Super Nintendo and NES, but still used the best Mario game of all time, Super Nintendo, Super Mario World graphics for its game, is so weird and makes it so interesting. Yeah, this is another entry of the topic was so weird and so new to me that it was a blast, but it got boosted to 2 because I got such nostalgia watching this one. And that one joke from the internet just makes me lose my shit every single time.
Use Yoshi to reach the help desk. Well, how about use my greasy Italian plumber cock to whack you across the fucking face?
The one about Luigi being too short is hilarious. And seeing the whole weird shit of Mario just in these different time periods is fun as hell with Mario's Time Machine. I really recommend you watch this one. It's a huge one. But now you're probably wondering, what in the hell could he have at number 1?
Aw, kick fucking ass! Life is kinda cool sometimes.
Look at how huge this beast is. It's ginormous. And why is there a door on it? Is this a video game console or a fucking closet?
Listen. There's a good reason for this. And when I originally made this list, this wasn't even going to be number 1, but, you know, come here. Times change. People grow up. Mature with time. Your list changed from back then, and they might have been back then. You grow up, start to witness the world around you grow. People enjoying their lives playing in the fields. And then you finally start to realize slapstick is fucking funny.
Fuck.
I'm not even kidding. This episode only got number 1 because as I was going through them, like from the start, I already had this one written down. I was like, dude, that one's a classic. Watch it all the time. I know for a fact that one's already going to be on the list. But I wasn't expecting to be number 1, and I think it's because of how more experimental it was. Now, yes, I know there is the Bugs Bunny series that he did, and then there is the Rob one and stuff like that. But I love simplicity. I always liked his episodes where they were more just simple, or I'm just going to review this weird product, or something like that, more than the big bombastic ones. But this one is a perfect fusion of the two. Yeah, it's a review of the weird-ass shit console Atari tried to make that was a failure, and even the history of that was interesting on its own. But then it becomes this funny thing where he doesn't even play the fucking thing. He's just trying his hardest to try to play the thing, but keeps getting fucked every single way. It's just hilarious. I mean, like, has hell setting up the TV, which, and one thing James said about this episode in the past, which I agree with, is James himself said, well, this was mostly just a joke of struggles we have gone through trying to set up consoles. The whole having to deal with, the wire's too short. And that one got me immediately. Like, I hate that. Like, I gotta get a fucking extension wire. I gotta find a way to get this to reach here. I need to go to the back of the TV. And it's just relatable. It's slapstick that's done very smartly because it's relatable slapstick. Yeah, it's silly, and no joke, his reactions are amazing. Like, when I show this episode to a few of my friends and family, and they also always pick that this one's their favorite. They just love how weird and funny it is, and how relatable it can be. So for all that and more, yeah, this is my number 1 pick. I loved this one, I thought it was great, and it was funny as hell. Like, it's genuinely perfect. And that's why it's my number 1 pick, and that is my top 7 favorite Angry Renner episodes of all time. The fuck? I don't know about you, but I get real confidence from that. Keep on riding high, you good old nerdy space cowboy.